Good. Good afternoon, Ramachabat. I don't know what everybody else has in watches. It says 15 minutes, so I will try to keep it in my watch is 15 minutes, and I try to make it very short. Because it's late, and obviously all of you must be tired, so I will shorten my complete presentation away from the technical side to the practical side. Cugate. What is Cugate? Cugate is a company founded 5 years ago, but based on a production company who did about 400 CDs for Sony Classical, a lot of music productions in the jazz and folk music scene. We were very active in Georgia, and we faced a very fast and very declining business schedule in the 90s when the CD as a medium changed, and downloads and streaming later in 2000 came up. So all of a sudden, because we are basically a classical producer, the classical music declined, the interest declined, everything went back. So we had to find a solution how to protect, how to monitor, and how to follow the music, but not in a blocked way. Because all the solutions which were presented in the 90s, Microsoft, Apple, everybody else, was based on DRM, the so-called digital rights management, and this was basically something to block and to avoid that people could copy and other things. But as you know, in this business, in the technical side, people are very fast by hacking things, by taking any kind of security solution apart. So we decided to come up with an own solution, and the own solution is the so-called virtual barcode system for best DAM, in the future IoT. I made it a little bit of a joke because everybody nowadays is talking about digital asset management, and everybody is talking about IoT, Internet of Things. There's nothing new. It's just the old way of using the Internet to transport material, but in our case, in the old days, it was just called piracy and other things because there was no real scheme for it. There was no real way of following from the owner of the product to the final consumer. This was possible before when you had a barcode system, because in the barcode system you actually went to a shop, the barcode was scanned in, you paid your price, you knew where it comes from, so all this was very, in a traditional way, organized. In our case, with all the invention in the 90s and later on, a lot of the product was completely lost. So we said we have to find a way to identify, because everybody talks about identifying. One major problem in the music or in the video industry is identification of a product means we have a file with a file name, and the file name and the file is connected to some metadata. So anywhere where we upload material to iTunes, because we are an iTunes partner, we are a Google partner, we are a YouTube partner, we are in all the shops and all the streaming services all over the world. Wherever we upload our material, everybody has his own metadata exchange, everybody is changing the metadata exchange, so in the end the consumer out there, when it ends up to him, loses a lot of information. So it's on one side not good for marketing and promotion of a product, and on the other side it's not good for the client, because out there's a devaluation. If you just listen to music and you don't know who it is and where it was, and in the CD you could see who was the producer, who the background, the studio, you could get more information if you liked the product. So we decided we have to find a security for our material in the virtual marketplace. To do this, we invented the complete solution, and it's worldwide patented. So the worldwide patent solution should provide complete control, protection and monitoring, and as such security for the owner of the product and for the buyer of the product, because if the buyer of the product gets product which is not identified and he doesn't know the source, in Germany for example, end users get criminalized because they get so-called cease and desist orders because they downloaded some music somewhere, and they're not guilty, they didn't know. So we have to find a way, and that's why I was very interested to do this explanation, because it was initiated by the Ministry of Justice. Why this is important I come to a later point. So we are replacing right now the blocking structures of DRM, and we do an extended monitoring with the digital asset management. But to do this digital asset management, we have to find, or we invented, a combined version of watermarking and audio fingerprinting. A lot of people in here might know the fingerprinting solutions of Shazam or from SoundHound. So if you have somewhere a title and you hold up your mobile microphone or mobile unit, you think you can get really the information of what is played. This is wrong. We have proof for this, and it's especially wrong when it comes to classical music. Shazam really identifies the works, meaning the composition, but they don't identify who is recording it, because this is a lack of the system. Our system can do that because we can do it on two bases. First of all, our fingerprint system is more accurate than anything else in the world. And secondly, in combination with the watermarking system, we can really build up a complete chain for the product, meaning a chain, a digital management in the Internet of Things. For audio and audiovisual related content, assets, investments and interest, because we invest in product. We invest into recordings, we invest into artists. So if we do so, we want the artist to be recognized, we want the artist to be in the open, we want people to be able to follow the artist. So whatever we do has to do, make our product available in all markets, in any format, on any platform, because we don't care. All these platforms, iOS platform or Windows, Microsoft or Android, they have to take care about the security. In a lot of cases they don't do it, in other cases they do too much. But anyhow, for us, this is not a problem, because our product becomes secure, because we integrate codes which cannot be taken out, and even if the files are changed, the format is changed or whatever it is, we are able to follow. This is the actual situation in the market. If an artist or us, come with this thing, right? Okay, here. Yeah. Works? No. Anyhow, I got it somewhere else. Something is okay. You see, we as artists or the producer is delivering his material to the record company. The record company delivers it to a content aggregator or directly to the shops. All the shops have a different kind of metadata structure. Every shop, Microsoft and Apple and some other people started to introduce something like DDEX, which was supposed to be an identification system to make it easier to exchange metadata. But it doesn't work, because always the next generation go back, the other people use another one, and information gets lost. Without information, the product becomes devalued. But even if you have it and you have information which might be limited, in the end, you cannot contact back. You have no information about the artist, about the background, and whatever. So what we do in this case is we integrate our own system, which means the Cugate barcode control. We actually start with the same as before, but we run the product, maybe video, maybe audio, through the system. Then when it's actually delivered to the shops and portals, we don't even care if the information delivered there is right or wrong. If something goes wrong there, that's not a problem for us, because we pick up later on with our own players. We have a Q radio player, we have a Q sync player, we have different players. With the player we pick up the watermark again, and with the watermark we can build a direct connection to all the shops. We can deliver much more information than anybody else, and we have our own database which covers the whole information about artists and so on. So the technology itself is pretty simple how it works. By delivering the track from the artist or from the owner to us, the label or the content aggregator, we integrate one key code, which is like the first watermark, and the first watermark goes to the fulfiller. The fulfiller delivers the information back, and the file is secured. That's the first step. We call it the seal, because there we identify the product with a database of about 96 information, artist, composer, movements, anything around, even birthdays, because sometimes it's interesting who wrote the music on that date. We're trying to fulfill expectations of the audience out there. After this, we do the second watermark, because we want to know where it is delivered to and how is it delivered. So we check again I try to make it fast because otherwise you fall asleep maybe. The second part, we fill in the second watermark. The second watermark identifies who is the distributor. So it means from that chain on, we know exactly whom we delivered it to, what did we deliver, and he then, with the second watermark, can say, okay, I build a link up to the artist promotion, I build a link up to the CD promotion, or to anything else. Nowadays, with streaming becoming the major consummation, or even internet radio, or dedicated internet radio, it becomes even harder, because you don't have even the text file going with it. It's maybe integrated in the ID3 track, but in a lot of times it gets lost. The third part is we trace it. We trace it at the moment only based on our own inventions by web crawlers, and we see who is using it, but we're not interested to identify the person. We're only interested to profile the person, and we're only interested to identify what he needs. We want to replace search with find. We make offers, we make interpretations, we find the similar music because we have a special code developed here in Georgia by our representatives. And we can actually detect mood, we can detect tempo. So I always make it a simple example. If somebody listens to blues music, very dark blues music, in the morning from 7 to 8, he's certainly somebody, a client for antidepressives of a pharmacy industry. It's more or less like we want to identify what the people want, what they need, and what they have. One part, and that's what's even important for artists or for anybody related to artists. I know it's sometimes very lost. The TRIPS is an agreement which is called Agreement on Trade-Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights. This is a basic part of the World Trade Organization when a country enters. The reason for this is to protect the intellectual property of a country and make it protective to all other countries. Meaning if the music from Georgia or if the music from Azerbaijan or any kind of movie is broadcasted somewhere else, it should be protected because it's part of an agreement between all the countries. Protecting intellectual property is a means to have a culture survive, to have a culture being present, and to have ethnic identity proven. Because you don't want, I'm not anti-American, but we don't all want to listen to rap music. We don't all want to listen to some pop music from anywhere. We want a complete range, and we want to identify ourselves. Georgia, for example, has a fantastic choir culture, have fantastic cultural culture. This is not even really known worldwide because a lot of the product is not out there. If it would be out there, it would be immediately subject to piracy and to copy and copyright infringements if it's not protected. But the protection by DRM will not work because it's nonsense. It should be used to attract. That's why we are for open delivery, and we deliver it to anybody and everybody, but we can catch them afterwards, and if there's an infringement, we can take legal action, and that's it. So we have our field of business varies from software development to data business to sync licensing to new production. Actually, we did a new production in Georgia. We were the first to do 4K recordings because the concert hall is one of the most developed concert halls in the world. You might even know, because even for world standards it's absolutely top because it's completely wired with fiberglass and everything else. It's the most advanced infrastructure worldwide, which is considered by many orchestras now who want to come. Now we also do, and this is the next step we are initiating, because every radio station, every restaurant, wherever music is publicly performed, people pay. They pay money. It's law, so it's like from the government and from the Justice Department, there's institutions who are allowed to collect money. So if they collect money on a blanket fee, the money has to be allocated because these organizations are nothing else than they are collecting money on behalf of intellectual property right owners. But the money mainly in many countries is just collected and it's not distributed, because if you collect and you don't know where to distribute, how are you going to do it? So we are now doing monitoring, radio monitoring. We record and we compare with our system which record has been played, and we don't care what kind of information comes with it, because we have already in our database a system of how compare it to musical language which is extracted out of the music files or out of the audio files. It's not only music, it's also speech and other things. So for this we can start a royalty collection, and we can actually make sure that the money collected goes to the right kind of people. Last but not least, with the monitoring, we can deliver to the audience out there tracking records, track of artists, and it's not only pop or classical, it's any kind of genre, anywhere it goes. But we are not only monitoring, because only monitoring makes no sense, it's only a B2B business. We also want to enhance the usability for the client out there. The client should know where to buy it, what can he buy, what is available of the artist, of the composer, of even the city where he's from, everything around it. And we also deliver for the B2B client again, how often has been the track played, in which radio station, what time of day, but we can do this not only for artists, it's also for advertising. Advertising agencies pay a lot of money to support the radio and the TV stations. By supporting it, they want the advertisement played at the right time, in the right kind of environment, to the right kind of music. This is only normally done by hand. We do it automatically. We can automatically monitor for advertising agencies, is the advertisement played at the right time. But we even do a step more. We make the advertisement interactive in internet radio and in the TV players. So if the advertisement comes up, the user can click on it and he gets directly linked to the product. So he doesn't have to remember, he doesn't have to go one of the search engines, and that's it. And we do this in the end through a virtual, let's say a virtual shop or a virtual outlet, because some people like to use iTunes, some have only Amazon, some only have Deezer or Spotify, so everybody has his own kind of connection point where he gets his entertainment delivered from. Moreover, this thing is like, for example, we also work in China, we work in Brazil, we work in Russia. In those countries sometimes YouTube is blocked, or another one is not really a favorite shop, so we adapt the whole system, wherever it is, into the likes of that country. Now, after that, and the product is chosen and the product is clear, we make direct links, so you don't have to go out. It's all a one-click method, because all the one-click method is based on the virtual watermark and on the virtual footprint, which comes to the virtual barcode system. So we identify and we know exactly where we can actually link it to and initiate sales, which is also important for other products. Now we do it with music, but if it's an advertisement, it's also important where you can buy the suit or whatever. We also do something else. We are actually integrating the watermark, and we do this already successfully, into videos which are uploaded to YouTube to check if either it's our own, or somebody copied it, or somebody reloaded it. And I hope I can make it work, so at least you have a little bit of entertainment today. Maybe I need the help of feature. No? No? Where is it? Okay. Okay. So this is live. This is our own system. No, I need to copy. I need to copy this thing in here. This, the link. Where was it? Where's the apps? One moment, sorry. Where's the... So it is not open. No, I need to open the Word. Where's the Word file? Yeah, it's not open. No, I need the Word file. I want my mouse.
You can copy it from here too.
Oh, you can copy it, right? No, you cannot.
Sorry.
That's what I'm saying. PSP2? Oh, open mine. Oh. Is it on desktop? Is it on desktop? Is it on desktop? We're searching the file, I don't know where it is. Yes, yeah, Git. Open mine. Not a second. So this is now live from YouTube. It runs through our player, and it's actually an example, a very good example of how to use this. The video plays, we analyze the watermark. With the watermark, we can identify what kind of music is played. We can identify which city it is, and we can immediately, for this city, actually link to any kind of product. That's okay. No, that's good. And you see, we identify it's from us, it's our product, and it's actually uploaded to YouTube, so we know exactly the channel. But what we also have integrated, because it's Milano and somebody listens and watches the video, we can also give him direct flight information from where he is, in this case from Tbilisi. We can integrate hotels, we can integrate restaurants, we can integrate what's going on in the city. All is based on the virtual watermark. If it's not in there, then I'll give you another example, which we have very soon to Who was it? Oh. It drives me crazy this without the mouse. Get rid of it first. Now the other way. Okay.
Click check.
Yeah, click check. And these people from Georgia, you should know. It's actually like famous man in Georgia. But I stop it here. The only thing I wanted to show you, because this was uploaded a long time ago, it's not protected. We still catch it by our fingerprint, so we knew the product is out there. With the fingerprint, we have to attach it then to the information. But just to make sure, we have a nice ending. Where is this? Where's my PowerPoint? Okay. Anyhow, it looks like we failed in the end. Terrible. No, I need the last one. But the last one is enter, right? End. Yes. Okay. So, thank you for your attention. Questions to be asked is for Mr. Sasa Omyadze and for Mr. Gwicha Chikladze, and I want to thank you all for being here. And I finish off with this, because I wish the whole issue and conference a nice Noaval Shamir. Thank you very much. Cugate Zantebotet, Cugate.
Thank you very much. So I would like to ask Mr. Alexei Naida, who will present information-driven way to make business.
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.